In this GUNAMAT Creator tutorial video, I'm going to demonstrate the use of our draw mode to be able to draw a shape around a given object, for example, such as a fan. So, first thing I need to do is take a photograph of the object, which I've already done, and I need to load an image of the photograph into the background. So I go here to our image button, and that allows us to open a folder. So we're going to click on this, and you can see it's opened up my USB stick, and on that USB stick I've got a couple of photos. So let's grab a photo of this fan. So if I double click on this, it'll open it up in the background, and there you can see a watermarked image of the fan, which now we can manually trace around. Now I've got a choice here. I can go straight into draw mode and then manually draw and trace around this, or I can speed it up a little bit. I could use a template to do part of the work for me and then draw mode to finish it off. So I go into standard here, and we do have the A120 fan template. So let's open that up. And here I'll put in some dimensions to see if we can get it close to it. 340, and then tab to the next field, 190. We'll tab all the way down. Bow height, I might make that 100. Okay, we sort of have a close shape, which should be good enough for us to manipulate from here using draw mode. So I'm going to click on create to lock that in. And with that object highlighted, what we can do is we can now convert that to a draw mode object. And what you need to do is right click on the mouse, and then you can go to draw. And so what that will do will then open up draw mode, but it will also then change the properties of that fan template to now a draw object. So now this no longer relates to the fan template. But from here, I can use the dynamic features of draw mode to be able to manipulate and change. So for example, I can click and drag on this point here. I can click and drag on this point, and also on this point. And then I can zoom in with the mouse. So you have a mouse wheel on the mouse, so I can zoom in. I can grab a point like this. I can bring it up to here. I'm using the mouse wheel to zoom in and out. I can adjust the guideline for the edge of the fan there. I can grab this point here. So you can grab any point and move it. You can then grab these adjustable contour splines to be able to flex or adjust any curve. If I want, I can add or subtract more points. This particular button here is add or remove a point. So if I click on this, it will change the mode that my mouse works, and I can click on a line anywhere to add a point, or I can click on a point to subtract or remove a point. But if I continue on here, I might adjust this out a little bit more. Select it again, move this down a bit. Maybe I need to move this across. So you can spend some time on this to get it exactly right. But it's not a lot of time compared to, say, certainly trying to cut something like this by hand. Maybe I'll just extend that out a little bit more. So once I'm happy with my given drawn shape around the object, I can remove the object from the background. By doing that, you use the keyboard shortcut Control B. B for background. So it's like a toggle switch. If I keep my finger on Control, hit B, and hit it again, it will turn on and off the background image. So I'll leave it off. If you want to remove the background image completely from the memory, use Control Shift B, and that will wipe the memory to allow you to load a new image into the background. So I'm also going to change this into template mode, so it becomes an object, and I'm also going to change into our three-dimensional view mode so you can see the shape of the object here. Now my next step is to actually get that to the accurate size that I want it, because even though I put the photo in the background, that gives me the correct proportion of the shape in the image, but it doesn't actually give me the true dimension. And so in order to do this, what I need to do is select the shape, go to our Transform tool menu, and here you can see size, X and Y. So size in the horizontal direction and then size in the vertical direction. And there is a proportional button ticked down here too. So if I change one, it will proportionally adjust the other. So let's say that I've measured this out and I need the width from end to end to be 450 millimeters. So here I can type in 450, and obviously now it changes to a larger size, and it has proportionately changed the vertical direction as well. So here I can click and drag this and move it around, and as we can see, it's now too big for the mat that was in there in the first place. So what I'm going to do is use my dynamic outside measurement feature to resize this mat. So up here we have the dynamic OM button. I'm going to put my finger on the control button on the keyboard, hold it down, and then left click on this button to bring up the parameters for my preferred border or margin. So let's say I want it to be 50 mils all the way around. I can type in 50, tab 50, tab 50, tab 50. Click on OK. Now, when I click and drag, and I click on this object and drag, you will see now there are some guidelines in the background, and the object magnetically wants to snap itself to those guidelines. So I'm snapping it into the bottom left-hand corner, because that's our anchor point. And then once I've got that lined up here, 50 mil by 50 mil, I turn the dynamic OM on, and that instantly resizes the mat board based on giving me an extra 50 mil above the shape of the object and also to the right. And I can turn it off once I've finished that. So I'm almost there. What I also want to do is double mat this. And so in order to double mat it, while it's still highlighted, I can go to Properties, and you can see there's a plus button here that allows me to add another layer. So if I click on that, it will add another layer, and I can set the distance for that layer. So I can say I want to make that 5 millimeters. And so now I have my double mat. I'll reset the view so you can see my double matted fan shape ready for my fan object. That's ready to cut. So the next step then to cut it is to go into cut mode and choose whether you want to cut it with or without an outside cut, and cut the shape. So that's how we use the dynamic draw mode feature for creating the shape around a fan.